Hi, the eyes.
Hey, welcome to a fun and exciting Quizmax Presents. I'm doing this wonderful presentation to talk about some great new news in Quizmax Inc. And before I get started, let me just introduce myself. My name is Kamal J. Pryor, aka Quiz. I'm the founder, CEO of Quizmax Inc. Social Media Professionals. I'm hanging out, enjoying my time here as usual in sunny Florida, which is where we're headquartered at. And for the new news, in case you haven't heard, I've recently named one of our new ambassadors of foreign affairs, Mr. Phil Livesley. Mr. Phil Livesley is a wonderful person. I just seem to have connected with him, and ever since I've connected with Phil, it's been nothing but pure awesome sauce. Pure awesome sauce. This is a man with a vision. This is a man with wonderful integrity, and a person that it brings me great pleasure to be able to move up the ranks of KMX, and just have another awesome person on our team. Let me share something with you. Mr. Phil Livesley is all the way from the UK, from a town called Bolton. Mr. Phil Livesley speaks two different languages, and Mr. Phil Lively is a wonderful person that I really feel has a lot to offer to the KMX movement, being that we share a vision, we share some commonalities, and we both are very adamant about giving every KMXer every opportunity that they could possibly need in order to succeed. With that being said, I just like to say it's a pleasure and honor to be able to um, be able to really have such a great person on our team, and be able to offer our entire team the growth that I think is really going to be awesome for us to move forward. So without any further ado or any delay, I'm here in sunny Florida. I think that you guys are pretty familiar with how I get down and do things here at the Quizmatic Inc. movement. If not, then feel free to get with myself or another social media professional. But I'd like to bring on a special invited guest, if you could, to talk about the new promotion to Ambassador of Foreign Affairs for Mr. Phil Lively. So if you can, my special guest, feel free to open up your microphone and say hello to the people at home who are watching this presentation.
Thank you, Quiz. It's awesome to be here and to be interviewed by the number one special guy in the business, Quiz.
Awesome, awesome. Right now, I'm seeing. I'm looking at the screen right now, and if I didn't know any better, I would think I was interviewing myself. Are you? Do you have a physical ability to come on camera, Phil, or?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you right now. This is magic at its finest. How's about that one for you?
Unbelievable, unbelievable. The magic of the internet. The magic.
It certainly has its powers.
It certainly does, and the magic never ends. Phil, I was speaking about where you're from, being in the UK and being from Bolton. Could you tell us a little bit about your town of Bolton, and what it is that you like about bringing the opportunity for network marketing in your area, in your part of town?
Well, I come from one of the biggest towns in the UK, and that's Bolton. And I like to bring myself out here and produce my magic, as they'd say, in all the four corners of the world. I don't think I'm anything special, but I have a vision. I'm energetic, eccentric. I have the likability, the fun factor. What more do you need from a guy like me?
What more could you possibly need from a guy like him? What more could you possibly need from a guy like him?
No, I bet you weren't expecting that then, people. Because I wasn't.
Now, if that's not international KMX, then I don't know what is.
Live and direct.
That's live and direct international KMXing right there. Just in case you didn't get the memo. All right, guys, I have Phil Livesley all the way from the UK, from Bolton, UK, right here with us on our webinar presentation here, man. It's pretty awesome and exciting to be able to have you here, Phil. Phil, I understand you speak two languages. Please tell me a little bit about those languages that you speak, if you don't mind me asking, my friend.
Well, one's my native language, which is English, and the other is Patois.
Patois. You speak English. Wait, I thought you spoke a third language. I thought you also spoke gibberish.
I don't know which man you're looking from the UK, but it isn't me. I don't talk gibberish. It's pure value.
All right, awesome. All right, let me ask you a question. Let's have a serious question for a minute. Phil, how long have you been involved with online marketing?
Just coming up to like nearly 2 years in March.
Wow, so you've been in this thing for about as long as I've been doing online marketing.
Cool.
Yeah, I actually started about 2 years ago. I'll tell you an interesting story about how I got started in the business. My grandmother passed away, and you know, my grandmother was always one of the most hardworking people I ever knew. She's always taken, you know, never spared any time, energy, and effort to give me good values. And when she passed away, I really didn't like the way my job had treated me at that particular time. I didn't like their attitude towards things that were just part of life. You know, naturally, there was a lot of things that I had to do with spend time with her in the hospital before she passed away, and you know, and in the funeral and all kind of stuff like that. So I was really kind of just, you know, disenchanted with my job, and I made a decision I wasn't going to work anymore for anybody other than myself. And I could just hear my grandmother's words: "If it's going to be, it's up to me." And the first business I joined, I spent like $360 to get started in that business. And you know how much money I made in that business, Phil?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me.
I made $0.00. So I started out with a big plate of disappointment as far as my ability to earn money online initially, but it was only a short time after that before I started finding success. I started finding stuff that I could do to actually really make money, and then became passionate about making sure that others who were online didn't have to suffer the same headaches that I went through as far as joining online marketing, trying to make money from home, and not really being able to do it for myself. So I took all of the stuff that I learned and I put it towards giving everybody every opportunity to succeed today. Phil, how soon before you entered online marketing, before you started earning your first money?
From day one. The offer was too irresistible to the online market today, and that's how it went. And then obviously I worked at this business and I was flying, and then, to be honest, the business started fading away, and I was worried because it was a time where I just started and I thought, this is it, this is me, this is how it's going to work. And then to fade away and just disappear was craziness. And then for me to move to the next company and the same thing happen again, I'm like, this ain't going to happen a third time. And it didn't happen a third time. The rest is just history now.
All right. Wow. That's pretty awesome that you had come out and you had made money, and then you saw, am I to understand that the business went belly up, or what happened to the businesses that you were making money in that caused you to have to find new businesses to make money in, Phil?
It just decided to close its doors. They never give us a major reason why. It just happened. And like some businesses stay, some businesses go.
So you've actually experienced, how many businesses have you experienced just closing their doors since you've been in this business, Phil?
2.
2, wow. Well, that's a lot of experience. And the beautiful thing is that I haven't experienced that yet in the business. I have seen some businesses that don't work. I have seen a lot of businesses that do work. I've seen some of the difficulties with some of the comp plans. I've actually had a pretty good, you know, I got a pretty good gist of what it is that, you know, that I need to be able to, because I'm really an educator by nature. So I've got a good base of experience to kind of help people who are new in the business. But I want to ask you something really interesting, Phil. What brings you to Quizmatics Inc., if you don't mind me asking, my friend?
It's a place where we can all share the same vision but bring our own skills to the table, creating a massive army that can conquer anything.
That's true. And how did you and I meet, for the people who are just watching this and trying to figure out how we pulled off this connection, if you don't mind, Phil?
Well, it started when Pay Me Forward launched, and as we connected inside the group chat, and it said, whoever you are in your first time in the group chat, to connect with you yourself. And then it kind of went on from there then, and that's how we started to build that relationship up. And it's kind of started with that one Facebook post that obviously you found value in that post, and you came to me and we decided to speak about this post. And that's where we started to share that vision and that knowledge and the experience we both had together, where we can take this and where we can go with it.
Absolutely, it was probably having that conversation with you was probably one of the more refreshing things, because you'd already been part of KMX for a little bit.
Yeah.
We were on building that little business we had going over there, and I was looking for my leaders, and you were in the UK, and I remember that I had a bunch of issues because my UK people had started becoming inconsistent, and I really wanted to make sure that you guys had an opportunity to have a voice and stuff that really related to your region, because sometimes when I'm doing meetings or it's a little bit late, and you guys are like, what, 5 hours or something like that ahead of our time. So
yeah, that was right. 5 hours. Yeah, 5 hours time difference.
Yeah, so that was interesting to put that together. But Phil, I like the fact that you brought up the conversation we had. The conversation that we had also stands out to me, but I want to ask you, what was it about that conversation that me and you had when we did connect finally that stood out to you, if you don't mind me asking?
Say that again, sorry.
I said the conversation that we had, when we had our conversation and we started to realize that we're kind of, similar thought process people, plus we're both Virgos. What was it about the conversation that you and I had when we really connected that stood out to you, if you don't mind sharing?
Just that same vision, knowledge, and experience that everyone should have. If you're going to stand together and work as a team, then we all should have that basic knowledge of where we can take things and where we want to go. And this is how we lead people to where they want to be.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And for those who don't know, Quizmatics Inc., the vision of INK, which is I stands for independent, because we're all independent entrepreneurs. And we want to succeed at being independent entrepreneurs. So we want to be able to succeed at our stint at being an entrepreneur. I have an entrepreneurial spirit. Like Phil, he stepped into the business. He started finding success and making money. And I stepped into the business. And for me, I spent a whole bunch of money, but I didn't really earn any money. But at the same time, we're both in this industry, and we've both seen our share of successes. We've seen, our share of struggles, and neither of us wanted to have those. So the N in INK stands for networking. And me and Phil, naturally, we network together. We've been able to build a stronger relationship from the woman that we start with. And knowledge is the basis for really bringing this whole thing around. So that's the vision for Quizmatics INK. Phil, how did you feel about the vision when I first communicated it to you? And what do you feel you can contribute to my vision of creating this super network I'm working on with Quizmatics Inc.?
I felt the connection straight away, because it's something that I looked at doing previously, and it's something you can't do alone. No matter how hard you try, there's no way you can do this alone. You need people. After all, it is a people's business. Networking is part of people, and people make people. And the power of people is just amazing.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And Phil, the vision that I have about bringing people together and us being entrepreneurs and all being able to succeed as entrepreneurs through networking, exchanging knowledge, how do you feel as though you can contribute to this business, my friend?
I just have that uniqueness about me that someone would like to look up to and step into my shoes and follow how I've done things. And not only that, create their own story, because I do think everybody's unique and everybody should have their own story. Even though you're learning online and you're stepping into somebody else's shoes, create your own story. Everybody's unique at the end of the time.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and especially the fact that you speak those two languages, borderline 2.5. I figured that could help. Especially with the foreign stuff, because I may have to come out to the UK and get you a chance to show me around, and then there's other places that I want to go, and I want to be able to bring people who have different perspectives. So one of the things I shared in my vision also is I remember that I compared Quizmatics Inc. to being a huge mansion with many rooms.
Yeah, I remember.
I said, Phil, listen, as an ambassador, it'd be your job to pretty much to share the word about what's awesome about Quizmatics Inc., how you feel as though this vision is actually helping people, but eventually you're going to have to decorate one of these rooms in a mansion. So, Phil, let's imagine a mansion going right now. How would you decorate your wing of the Quizmatics Inc. mansion, my friend?
Well, it wouldn't have as many pictures of myself. It'd have a vision board. And everybody's vision is included. How we get there, we all decide together.
Oh,
Not just one person's in charge in this mansion. Everybody's in charge.
That's right. That's right. And there's so much room. There's so much room for growth there. You know, not for me, but for all of us. I want to see everybody be able to grow. Phil, it's been a pleasure and an honor to be able to have you on here. You're an awesome dude. Let me ask you some more interesting questions. I noticed that you have the palm tree there behind you. And, I mean, it's great being able to have you all the way down here from the UK, man. How are you enjoying your time in the States right now, Phil? Let's have more.
I think the United States has got a new citizen.
Seriously? Awesome, man.
Seriously, I love this place. I love it.
Awesome. How does it compare to being here now? We're basically in the vacation capital of the world right now in Orlando. How does it compare being here in Central Florida versus the town that you're from, Bolton? What's the difference between these two towns, and how do you see the differences? And you know,
the difference is scenery, the people. You just can't compare. It's two different. They're two different places. You can't compare it.
Right. What's the weather like in Bolton right now?
It'd be nightfall right now, so it'd be cold.
Oh, all right. Yeah, but it's getting cold around there, and listen, man, it's nice and warm here, pretty consistently and regularly. I see you have the beach tan going on. You clearly have the palm tree behind you. I hope you're not making people back home jealous. Phil, it's just a pleasure and an honor to be able to link up with you, man, and actually be able to really sit down and have real conversation with real people, especially people as great as you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you so much for being a KMXer. Are there any final words you'd like to give to people about the KMX organization or movement, and what people in the UK should expect when you get back when you get back from the States?
One thing I do suggest is every morning you can all get up and say, I can do this.
And that's the truth. And you don't have to do it by yourself, because every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just like the sun rises, you will find that WKMX Positive Power meeting. Phil, thank you very much. Are you going to take what have you learned here in the States in the short time that you've been visiting that you plan on taking back with you to the UK when you go back eventually?
A new state of living. The food.
Yeah, we're in a great food part of town. Let me share that with you. Everybody, thank you very much for watching us. Feel free to connect with Ambassador of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Phil Livesley. Feel free to connect with myself, Kamal J. Pryor, aka Quizmatics. Find out more about our Quizmatics Inc. Movement here. Social media professionals is real, and we're looking to definitely help out anybody who's aspiring to be a successful entrepreneur. This is where it happens, you know. The success-minded entrepreneur, this is the place where the magic happens. Phil, it's just awesome. I can't express it enough how awesome it is to be able to finally meet you and be able to host you here in the United States. So I look forward to spoiling you and pampering you a little bit further. And I hope that you go back and tell all of the great people in Europe that, hey, you know what? You guys need to come to the United States, because those guys know how to party.
You know that.
All right,
well, it's
man.
been a pleasure. My pleasure too.
We appreciate you joining us here on this webinar, Phil. Take care, and take care to you watching our program as well.
To the people.
On our YouTube channel.